Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ready, Set, Pop. My name is Mariel, greeting you from Mexico City, and I'm here joined by my two beautiful and wonderful co hosts. All the way from Brazil, we have Lucas Apache, and all the way from Colombia, we have Mauricio Sierra. Hello, boys.
Hello,
Hello.
all the way from hell. Here I
All the-
am.
Poor Luquitas, he is in hell because of the weather over there.
Yes, super hot.
Crazy.
Yeah, we are so sorry to hear that, and it's gonna get hotter with today's subject. No, don't fool yourselves. No. Today's topic, it was my choice, and it's all about dance floor queens. And I chose to talk about two that I consider that are the most important in the past 20 years, 25 years. So I chose Miss Kylie Minogue from Australia and Miss Sophie Ellis-Bextor from the United Kingdom. So in this episode, it's not going to be a versus like the one that Mao did with the Spice Girls and Destiny's
That's my
Child.
shot.
It's more to talk about why they are so iconic. Why are they considered like disco queens? And to this day, I mean, Kylie Minogue has been singing for the past 36 years because I know her debut album was released the year I was born. So I know it's crazy. And Miss Sophie began 25 years ago. So it's a long way to go. We're going to talk about their careers. And I made some questions for the boys to talk about specific songs that they like, singles, non singles, videos, and more. So I hope you guys can share with us the ones you like. But to start, I I want to ask Mao. I want to begin with you. I ask you to tell us your favorite Kylie song and your favorite Sophie song. Single.
Single. Okay, mi Mario. Thank you for that. For me, was like again, like with the Spice Girls, like a journey, especially with Kylie Minogue, because didn't, I never was a huge fan of her. Just two or three songs that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
But with this episode, I had the opportunity to listen to a lot of like albums, and it's good. It's good to know new music every day.
Mm-hmm.
So with Sophie was more easy because I remembered I was obsessed with Sophie Ellis-Bextor when she released, when I knew about her, like with Murder on the Dance Floor. In
Mm-hmm.
that moment, there's a story that I want to share with you. And in that moment, I was like 12 or 11.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted so bad to have like a favorite singer, like I want to have a favorite
Yeah.
singer. Where's my singer? I want to have a favorite singer. So I had three options in that moment. It was Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Christina Milian,
Mm-hmm.
and of course Stacey Rico. So it was so funny because at first Sophie was, for a period of, for a moment in time, Sophie was my favorite singer. Like I was obsessed. I was like visiting the CD stores and seeing this album Read My Lips, and I was obsessed. Like, oh, I want to have this album so bad. She was like my favorite in that moment. So
Mm-hmm.
with her what was easier, because I was thinking about that moment, and I remember that I was obsessed with Get Over You by her.
Mm-hmm.
But the song that I really love right now is Music Gets the Best of Me because of the lyrics. I love the lyrics. I feel very identified with the lyrics, like, because I think it's like an anthem for us, like
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
the same for you and for Lucas and for all the followers. Like music gets the best of us, like music
Yeah.
makes us happy, music makes us emotional. So I love the lyrics. Right now is my favorite song by her. And talking about Kylie, with Kylie was easier because I like a few songs by her. So Red Blooded Woman is a song that I really, really enjoy. And with this episode, I had the opportunity to listen to the complete album, and it's good. Maybe not my style, but it's so well produced. So yes, it's that song. I like the vibe. I like the rhythm behind the song. It's very special. You know, this kind of song
Mm-hmm.
that puts you in a good mood.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, it does. It does have a nice message. I like that part of Red Blooded Woman when she says, "You'll never get to heaven if you're scared of getting high." So it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, really cool.
Okay, great choices. So it was Red Blooded Woman by Kylie and Music Gets the Best of Me by Sophie. These are mouse choices. Lucky Lulu.
Well, I think it's so cool to see the different perspectives because my favorite single by Kylie is also Red Blooded Woman.
Mm,
And but I remember for with me, I just discovered Kylie, I think like with most of our generation with Can't Get Out of My Head in
mm-hmm,
2001. And for me, she looked very older for me. I was 11, and I could see that she was older than the other girls, so I wasn't that in her music. But I
mm-hmm,
remember every single that she was releasing was uh, having my attention little by little because Love at First Sight, when she released that single and video that was so colorful,
mm,
I was kind of liking. And for a moment I started to hate everything that she was releasing. Like Slow, I hated Coming to My World, I hated
oh, God.
and yes. And then Red Blooded Woman was released and I was like, finally I love a song by this woman. And it's so poppy, it's so catchy. And I've been creating my own personal charts since I was 10. And I
Mm-hmm,
remember I put that song at number one in a moment. So for me, it was like a big deal. You know, Kylie's number
mm-hmm,
one in my chart. And I still love that song. I think it's super pop, super catchy. That little voice of her saying, bye, bye, the whole
mm-hmm.
song. I don't know. So it's kind of magical. So for me, it's still my favorite. Um, and by Sophie, Sophie was different, but also kind of similar because for me, I used to look at her as a dance singer, kind of separated of the mainstream universe here in Brazil
Mm-hmm.
because we have Jovem Pan FM, the radio that I'm always mentioning here, and they had a lot of shows dedicated to electronic and dance music and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of compilations they released as CD that were like very popular here. Like everyone had those CDs, and Sophie was always in that planet here, dance planet. So for me, like Sophie Ellis-Bextor, Lasgo, Ian Vandal, all those music were together. I couldn't see
Mm-hmm.
her as a mainstream pop. So I love the songs, but I wasn't too connected to Sophie until I saw the music videos and everything. So my favorite single by her is actually later than that. That is Catch You. I think it's
Mm,
2007, if I'm not wrong.
2008, 7, 8.
Yeah, around that time.
Uh-huh.
And I love that because it's different. It's kind of pop rock and
Mm-hmm.
has this type of rhythm that is kind of an action movie, kind of
Mm-hmm.
similar to Sound of the Underground by Girls Aloud. That you have this rhythm and the sense of something is going on, adventurous. I don't know, and I like to hear this type of music in her voice because it's kind of different. It's like seeing Sophie Ellis-Bextor making a little bit of pop rock, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a dream that I have with so many singers, and with her I had that chance. So Catch You is my favorite single by her.
Perfect. So you won me over that one because I was gonna choose Catch You too because I love that one, but I wanted to choose something different to have variety. So Lukita's choices were again Red Blooded Woman by Kylie and Catch You by Sophie Ellis Bextor. Now, when it comes to my favorites, here I'm gonna be totally in a different position than Lucas, because when I first heard "Come Into My World," I was crazy about that song.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was like, yeah, this is my song, and it's been my favorite Kylie single ever since. I love it. I think it's really dance. I love both versions, the album and the video version, because I think changes a bit. But I
Mm-hmm.
love both versions. The remixes, I loved it. So for me, it's perfect. And Sophie, I remember seeing her for the first time on the video of Murder on the Dance Floor. I was like, oh, she's so pretty. She's so. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to sneeze. I don't want to sneeze. Oh, sorry. Uh, she was so pretty. She always looked so elegant for me. Even to
Yes.
this day, she still looks like really fancy, really like very nice. And so from that moment on, I knew I was gonna love her, and I have loved all of her work ever since. And this time, I chose "Get Over You" as my favorite single by Sophie. I think it's so catchy, like I love how it begins, um, and that it's still relevant to this day. She still sings it in her concerts 25 years later. So I think it's great, and it's really catchy and danceable. So
Yes.
there you go. Those are our choices for favorite single by these two dance divas. Um, we have here Norman says, "Mau, I need your shirt."
It is by Shane, actually. It is from Shane.
Shane, oh, lovely.
It
Oh,
is from Shane. Yeah.
hey Normie, we are
Hello,
three
friend.
3 days away from meeting Norman and my
Wow,
and me.
almost.
So yeah, it's so close. I'm really excited. Okay, moving on. Mau, your favorite non-single by these two?
Ooh, this time it was very hard for me, even with Sophie, because even when I was obsessed with her, in that moment I never download the complete album. I just had these two songs like
Mm-hmm.
in a CD that I burned back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Get Over You and Murder on the Dance Floor. But I was revisiting her catalog, and there is a song that I really, really like that is called The Universe Is You.
Mm-hmm.
And I can perceive with this song a little of like bubblegum teen pop, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like an instinct song if you listen carefully to the song. And I enjoyed so much this song because of that, because it's even when she's like a dance singer, this kind of singer, and it's so interesting because what Lucas mentioned for me was like the same, because she was like from another world for
Mm-hmm.
me too, because in that moment, even when she was on the radio and everything, I don't know if it was because she was from UK or she was making a different kind of music. In that moment, Avril Lavigne and these kind of girls were like very, very famous and very popular, and she was like not in that level, like in that league.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was like almost the same. Like this girl is like from another world. Like she doesn't belong to the same world to the pop girls. So
Mm-hmm.
for me, it was like the same. So it's interesting to listen to that perspective by Lucky. And but in this song, I think they try like to put some of the flavor of the time that was popular in her music.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about Kylie Minogue, there is a song with Keith Washington. Actually, then after I share with you the song, I discovered that the song was a single, but not so popular.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was so curious for me because it's like a very ballad, soulful R&B song. Because Kid Washington is like this kind of singer, like very soulful, very R&B, like this kind of crooner. And they had a collaboration back in the day. So this song belongs to the second of or the third album by Kylie. So these
Mm.
albums were not popular here in Latin America, neither in the US, I think. The title of the song is I want to
If
spend
you're with
Uh,
the
me
life
now,
with you. Okay.
if you're with
it
me now,
it is
And
if you were with me now. Yes, if you were
if
with
you
me.
were, thank you, friend. You were with me now. So yes, I decided to select this song because it's like putting a little of my flavor in Kylie's music because I know she's not like this kind of singer, but
Mm-hmm.
it was interesting to listen to this kind of collaboration with an R&B guy. Yeah,
Mm.
and I think even when I don't think she has like a this powerful voice in her early career, like in these albums,
Mm-hmm.
she used to show more of her range. I think
Yes.
so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you, Mal. A lot of people actually didn't know that Kylie released a lot of albums before Fever. When
Yes,
she became popular with "Can't Get You Out of My Head," her album was sold not only in the U.S. but in Latin America. So a lot of wow, she began late, but then as you do your research, it's like oh, she has a huge career. She
yes,
began in '89, so and her previous work was a little different to what she did on Fever. So she was not always as danceable. Her albums are a little bit dark. I don't know if you can
yeah.
call them like that, but well, pretty different. So it was interesting because I didn't know that song. Well,
Yeah, that song is weird. Actually, for example, my dad remembers the locomotion.
mm-hmm,
So it's crazy
yeah,
because it is from the 80s actually.
mm-hmm,
yeah,
From the late 80s. So my dad remembers locomotion. So it's funny because in that moment when she released Can't Get You Out of My Head, she had like an enormous career behind, as you said.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
how
definitely.
old is your father?
Hmm?
How old is your father?
My dad is 63, 63.
Uh, Maybe Locomotion is a cover, and my dad is
Yes,
65, and he loved the original. So maybe that's the reason he remembers.
it
I
is
think
a
the
Oh,
original
cover.
is from the 70s or
It
so.
is a
okay,
cover.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. You're right, friend. You're right. Maybe that is the reason why he remembers that song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a cover. I know too. I don't know the original singer or group, but
No.
it was a
My
cover.
dad used to listen when I was a kid, the original, so it's very fresh in my mind.
Mm,
Come on,
that's
baby,
why.
do the
Yeah.
locomotion. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Luki, what are your choices?
Well, my favorite non-single by Kylie is Fever, the track Fever. Uh, that I just knew way later. Not so much. It was 2008, I think. I was to a dance competition that my friend was part of,
Mm-hmm.
and some girls danced to the song Fever,
Oh.
and I was, oh, this is so pop. So it's kind of bubblegum too. It's very pop, very sweet. And I remember I was watching and thinking, I love this song. I gotta listen to this song when I get out of here. And I perceived that was Kylie because of the voice and because she
Mm-hmm.
was saying Fever. So I connected to the album easily. So it was easy to find. And even now, it's one of the tracks that I listen to the most by Kylie. I think it's super cool, super pop.
Mm-hmm.
And by Sophie was different because I tried her whole discography just once a few years ago in a
Okay.
moment that I had, I think, all her albums here at my house because of my store. So before I sold them, I decided to listen to everything. And it
Mm-hmm.
was like a good surprise. I remember I liked everything pretty much, and but was not fresh in my mind the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
So I was digging into the whole discography again to figure it out. A track that I really loved, and I chose "Dial My Number." I think this song is from Make a Scene
Make
album.
a Scene. Yes.
Yes. I was listening to this and I actually the sound of this album that we're gonna talk later because it's still electronic but it's heavy. Like the beats are very powerful and it's different. Like the BPM is faster. It's not that sweet and disco like the first album, for example, is
Mm-hmm.
more really electronic. So this was a song that I was thinking if I knew about in 2012 when it was released, I think 2011, 2012, I would be kind of obsessed. And it's a song that I can listen more now. Is really good.
Mm-hmm. It is 2011.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Do you know these songs, Mal? Did you listen to them?
Yes, I listened to the songs actually, and for me, that song "Dial My Number" was too Lady Gaga. Was
Yes.
very in the vein of Lady Gaga, and I understand the reason because in that moment, Lady Gaga was like the queen of music, and she was like the main girl of everything. So I understand like the purpose
Yeah.
to have an album like that. So yes, for me, when I was listening "Dial My Number," and I was thinking like, oh, it's very Lady Gaga. Even when I think Sophie is very unique and authentic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
very
think she's not
similar.
trying to copy Lady Gaga, but I understand the purpose behind that,
The
and I
moments. Yes.
understand. Yes, I understand the goals that the music industry try to accomplish sometimes. So yes, I understand the reason behind, but it's very
Yeah.
Gaga.
And it's kind of similar to the work that Vanessa did with DNA, the type of
Mm-hmm.
beats. So I
Mm-hmm.
think for that reason I like too.
Yeah, it is a good album. It is. I think it's. I have it here. Uh, I love it.
Yeah,
It's a great album. Actually, it contains this songs she worked with other DJs like
yeah,
Heartbreak, Make Me a Dancer, and Not Giving Up on Love. So yeah,
yeah.
it has really good songs on it. You chose well, Luquitas.
Thank you.
um,
What about
me.
you?
It was so difficult because I love a lot of songs by Kylie, but the song I chose by her, it's one called Speakerphone from her album X, which to me is a gem. Actually, my favorite Kylie album. It is so pop, it is so dance. So this song is, and I know it's my sister's Francesca's favorite song too. So we connect with that. Um, it is really catchy, and from the beginning it starts like slide, ta-da, and then it's really soft, and then dun, dun, dun. It's
Yeah,
really good. So for me, it always makes me dance. It makes me feel happy. It's when you listen to it, it's like it's this is a Kylie song, and I love seeing her performing it. So it was great. She's so talented, and this song deserved to be a single, in my opinion, from that album in particular. And when it comes to Sophie, I chose one that is also very like this, like with beats, with this disco thing. It's called "If I Can Dance" from her album Triple Life Fantastic. So this one is also like a follow up to "Get Over You," like in those kind of styles. I don't know what you guys think. I know Lucas might remember these songs, but I want to know your thoughts. Starting with Mao, what did you think about these songs I chose?
Actually, for me, when I was listening to the two songs, I was like, "Who is who?" Because the Sophie song, "If I Can Dance," it's very Kylie.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crazy because the careers of these two women were like parallels, like even when they belong to different moments in music, the careers are parallel, and even when they are from different parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about Kylie, for example, she was and she is still huge here in Latin America, but it was not the same in the United States. So for me, it was crazy because when I talk to people from US and they tell me something like, "I don't know Kylie Minogue," or "Okay, she's like a one hit wonder," I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what? And she was huge, huge here. So it's impossible to think that because actually she is giving a show here in Bogota in like 2 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
So she actually she visited this country like three or twice. She was really popular. She was really beloved here. So for me it was crazy, and I have a lot of friends, and of course she is like a very important icon of the gay culture here in Bogota too. So
Mm-hmm.
she's the queen of the gay clubs. So like Madonna, for example.
Yeah.
So yes, I was perceiving this kind of vibes from the Sophie song "If I Can Dance." And talking about the Kylie, I perceive, I don't know if it's because this album is from the same time that we were talking about, but I perceive a lot of Gaga again. Like, and I understand because it's
Mm-hmm.
like okay, Gaga was the sensation in that moment, so I can perceive that similarity between Gaga.
It's
But I think it's
2007.
2007. It was previous.
2007.
It's before, yeah.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
previous. But yes, it was like the beginning. Maybe sometimes a singer start with something and another singer were another other kind of singers were doing the same thing, but one singer is very popular because of that, but
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of other people that were making the same thing before. So I think that's the reason, because
Mm-hmm.
it's Gaga is the result of a lot of things like Kylie, Madonna, Britney
Mm-hmm.
Spears,
It's
Christina
a mix.
Aguilera. So
It's a mixture.
yes, so I think that is the reason.
Okay, and you, Lucas, did you remember the songs
I heard,
I
yes.
chose?
Actually, my comment uh, was about to be very similar to Mal, but I think maybe can be the answer as well, because every time I listen to this Kylie song or this album, for me it sounds a little bit like Britney's Blackout, that is from
Okay.
2007. It
Mm-hmm.
maybe is the beginning of this moment that we were talking. I always imagine Britney singing the songs of X. I think would be perfect for her. Even we have a little bit of R&B with All I See is in
Mm-hmm.
this album, right?
It
That
is.
sounds like Neo completely for me, like because
Mm-hmm.
of you, is really good. So I agree that this song could be a single, and I like the whole vibe of this album. For me, it's very Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
And about Sophie, I think is a song that is very Sophie, like because I was
Yeah.
listening to her whole discography again, and there's some songs that um, are kind of different. You
Mm-hmm.
can feel like Sophie there, but it's not. Um, I don't know. There's something that you can connect in her songs, and I think this is one of those songs that really captures what she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I like it as well.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think she has like a bad song. To be honest, when I was
Mm.
listening to the songs, everything sounds or good or at least fun to listen and to discover. Is not boring, so it is good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think there's a song I don't like at all.
Yeah.
There's songs I don't play a lot, but it's not that I don't like them. So I totally get it. And now
Yeah.
that you mentioned that her ex album sounds like Britney's Blackout, makes sense because they both Britney, went through all this thing with the umbrella and all,
Yeah.
and she released Blackout after that, after a rough moment in her life. And Kylie
Yes.
released X after she was free from cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense because they both were going through difficult moments and
Yeah.
going back. So yeah,
Rising. Yes.
rising again. Okay, we
Makes
have
sense.
here
Yeah.
comments from Norman. He says his favorite Kylie single is In Your Eyes, and Sophie is Heartbreak Make Me a Dancer. And his favorite non-single by Kylie is Light Years, Secret, Take You Home, Good choice, Norman. Sweet Music and Butterfly. And we have here Mau's mom. Hello, Miss Luz Helena. He says, Hola, Lucas, Mariel, y mi Mau
Hola.
Bello. Hello, Miss Luz
Hello,
Helena.
mommy.
Thanks
Hola.
for watching. Gracias por vernos.
Oh, she's so sweet.
Yeah. Okay, the next one. Mau, your favorite video from each of these girls and why?
Well, my favorite video is starting with Kylie, and I share this passion with you, Mariel, because
Mm-hmm.
when she released, it was like the same moment in time for me because she released. It was like I think it's from the same year. Coming to my world, I was obsessed because in my kids' eyes was so funny to have like a lot of Kylies, walking around.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was paying so much attention to the video, like, oh, okay, it's one and it's another, and it's like a lot of Kylies there. So I don't know how to say in English, el juego de cámara. It's very interesting. Like she is like a lot of times in the video. So for me, it was so funny. I think because I was a kid, for me, it was so interesting to see. And
Mm-hmm.
actually, is another of my favorite songs by her. And the video is amazing. It's amazing for me. And she looks actually very stunning there, like very fresh, very, very young,
Very natural.
Yes, very natural. Yes, yes, I love that. And talking about Sophie, of course, in this same year, I was obsessed with Get Over You.
Mm-hmm.
And even, and my mom is there and she can say it. I was so, when I was little, like 5 years or less, I was so afraid to the mannequins.
Oh.
So, like in that moment when I was 12, it was like, okay, I still have this kind of fear of the mannequins, but at the same time, I enjoy so much like the concept of the video, like she was like in this vitrina, in this glass or something,
Apparel.
and
Mm-hmm.
then she
Mm-hmm.
breaks it, and yes, I love like she looks like a doll. She's pretty, amazing, beautiful, stunning. So for me, the video was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I always admire the makeup in Sophie's video, how she looks like if she was made of out of porcelain, like a
Yes,
mannequin.
because
So
the skin looks perfect. Yeah.
yeah, it's so cool. And Kylie's video, I remember I didn't like it at first because it's like she's just it's a lot of Kylie's. What? But then I figured out it's like coming to my world. It's her world. So yeah, at first I didn't like it, but then it's like, oh yeah, this video is so cool. So, Luquitas, what do you think of these choices by Mao?
uh, it's funny because Kylie is one thing that changed with time for me. Like most of
Mm-hmm.
things, if I hated as a kid, I still hate it now. But with Kylie wasn't like that. Like this song "Coming to My World," as I said, I used to hate back then, but I do like now. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's a great song. But the problem for me for the song, I think, was the video. Because I remember I saw on MTV.com, the website, that they were about to premiere the video on that day. So I set up my VCR to record the
Oh.
video,
Mm-hmm.
the music video. And when the video starts and was just that, I remember being so disappointed because I think the video before that was Love at First Sight, that I love it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was so colorful and everything. So I was expecting something different. But I remember with time, even hating the video, I was watching like Mao trying to figure it out, where she was, where she's
Mm-hmm.
coming from and everything. So I was kind of stuck in that video in that sense. But was never my favorite. But I understand you, Mao, why you like it. And Sophie, we can use that as a link for my favorite as well because I chose the same
Oh.
video. Yes, and was was pretty much for the same reason, because we had on MTV Brazil a TV show called Central, that on this show we had the new music videos. So the music videos premiere on that, and if they were kind of new, they were in rotation for a while. So I remember the day they premiered that video, and I was very impressed by the makeup because she really looked like a doll. And I
Yes.
was 12, so in my mind was like, oh, how they did it. Like even the thing on her neck, dividing uh, her head from the body was like incredible. And I was familiar with the song already because it was playing here on Jovem Pan a lot. And I was coming from a moment that I used to love the video for Murder on the Dance Floor, of course, because
Hmm.
it's such a fun music video to watch. So visually, with music videos, she was a thing that was on my radar. So it was something that I experienced at the moment. And with Kylie, it was hard to choose, to be honest, because I like a lot of videos by her. I
Hmm.
was this close to choose on a night like this
Hmm.
because I really like, but I chose Slow. That is another case that, as I mentioned, I used to hate that song back then. Didn't
Hmm.
make sense to me at all, that song. So the music video for me was, boring. And the
Uh-huh.
song weird, sounded very weird to me. And now is one of the songs that I love the most by Kylie. I think it's perfection, it's genius, it's like ahead of time. It's something like Breathe on Me by Britney, that
Hmm.
you can feel every beat, every changing in the track. And I even love the extended version of Slow because it starts with just the dum 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 dum, and the song is growing,
Hmm.
and then the beat. So I love that. And the music video nowadays, I learned to love because of the song. And since there's a lot of things going on that horny pool that she is,
Yeah.
uh, I love to pay attention as well, like on Coming to My World video. I'm always paying attention on people, on the faces, if they are really pretend they are horny or if someone is actually horny. Because I think there is some people there, if you really pay attention. Uh, you can see some things, yeah.
Yeah.
So I learned to love the music video as much I love the song now. So my favorite is Love, yes.
Yeah, I remember don't liking the song either. So, and
Yeah,
now we're in the same place because I can feel it like very techno,
yes.
very a lot of synthesizers, but not not abusing them. So it's like the perfect blend.
Yeah.
So it is really cool. What did you think of Slow, Mao?
Actually, there is another story. Before sharing my thoughts on this video, I want to share a very funny story because I don't know why. Maybe Kylie's music is so sexual, or once like it's like people doing these kind of sexual things. I remember, and I can't forget this song because of that. I remember we were like in a friends or people, like it's maybe they were not friends of mine, but were whatever, a group of people. We
Mm-hmm.
were in the apartment of the guy, and he was with his girlfriend. And suddenly, they played "Chocolate" by Kylie Minogue, and
Mm-hmm.
the girl was so drunk. And out of nowhere, the girl was in the bathroom, and out of nowhere, the girl was naked dancing this song in front of everybody.
Oh my god.
So I
She was
right now
possessed
when
by
I
the
think
music.
about, sorry,
Possessed by the music. The
yes.
spirit of music.
So right now when I think about that story, is so funny. And when Lucas was mentioned this about the slow, I was thinking about this story, and it's so funny. The guy was like freak out, like the boyfriend was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Cover yourself." And the girl was like so drunk, enjoying the music, dancing "Chocolate" by Kylie Minogue. I can't forget this story, never. Actually, when I think about Kylie, I always think about this story. Talking
She was
about the slow.
I'm sorry, she was
Sorry.
completely naked?
Yes, she was completely naked
Oh
out
my
of nowhere. Like
god.
she came from the bathroom. She was so drunk. She was coming from the bathroom like completely naked
Oh
and
my god.
like flirting with the guys that were there. Like with all of the guys that were there.
Oh,
Performing, yes.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes, yes.
Chocolate is such a sexual and beautiful song, so but yeah.
Yeah. So I remember that story that I wanted to share with you. And talking about the slow, it's funny because I perceive this kind of vibe, like sexual vibe, because she's like in this pool, in this place with a lot of people. Like the content is very sexual for me. So yes, it's true.
Yeah, it's a good video. I guess she likes it. She did something similar with All the Lovers,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
I don't like that video. I think it's
The orgy was even bigger, yes, on all the
the
levels.
RG was bigger, yeah. And I never liked the video, so it was like everybody's on their underwear. It's like I don't know, I don't like it. So, but anyway, my favorite video by Kylie. Which one I chose? I can't remember. Hold on. Yeah, spinning around. Sorry. It's just that
Yes.
she has so many videos that it was hard for me to choose just one. But spinning around, I think it's one of those videos that are inviting you to the dance floor. She looks stunning in that video. She was wearing a mini shirt, short, like like booty short, how we call here, and it was really small, but she looked so pretty on it. She looked stunning. She was dancing. I always admire how her hair looked, her moves, how she was dancing on the bar. She was sliding. So for me, it was a really cool, sexy video. And for Sophie, I chose Catch You because of a personal relation. Well, more like I visited Venice where she shot this video. So every time I watch it, it's like I remember that trip I made with my parents. So it kind of brings me those memories. And I really like how she portrays all these places in Venice and that she's looking for this person. So um, I think it's really different to all the videos she did before, because the other videos were more like on stages, and
Yeah.
this one was at a specific place, in this case Venice. So yeah, those two are my favorites. Did you get to watch them, Mao?
Yes, actually, when I was, of course, I knew about the Spinning Around by Kylie, and I was thinking like a lot of people here in Latin America, like Paulina Rubio or Faye, took this kind of things because um, this song by Paulina, that the crossover that she made, she looks very similar.
Don't say goodbye.
Um, don't say goodbye. Thank you.
Uh,
Yes, she looks in some parts of the video, she looks very similar to Kylie in this video. So I
mhm.
think for Kylie was her best era in music. She looks stunning, so stunning. I so agree with you, Mariel. She looks stunning in that dress with like this golden attire. She's amazing, fabulous. And talking about Sophie's video, I think all the Sophie's videos are indoor, like are like in a place, like in a house, and in this video is different. Yes,
Mhm.
that caught my attention too because of that, because she was like outdoor, like in the streets in this beautiful city that Venice is. So
Mhm.
yes, yes, and with this, I think it's very iconographic. The dress, like the red dress that she
Mhm.
is wearing in this video is really really like iconic.
Yeah, because red is like you're gonna see me coming to you. So it's
Yes.
yeah, yeah. What do you think, Luki?
Well, I like the both videos, and spinning around. I think was like I don't know. Sometimes we talk so much about fever, and we don't
Mhm.
realize that we had light years before, and is so good as well, and very it was kind of like the door opening for Fever, I think, because very danceable already, very well produced, and very mainstream in a way. And I every time I listen to Spinning Around, I think that song was on the radio here. Maybe in the dance shows, I don't know, but sounds very familiar for me. So Kylie was around when I wasn't paying attention, spinning
Mm-hmm.
around, and
Mm-hmm.
I really like the video. I agree, she's looking stunning on that. And with Sophie, I like the video. I think makes sense with the song, as I mentioned before. I think this song brings this sense of adventure, like
Mm-hmm.
chasing after something. So good, it's perfect for the song. In my mind, I think I was expecting something darker,
Mm-hmm.
but it's me. I have problems with that, and so I was expecting a different kind of clothing and everything, but it is perfect the way that it is. It's just my imagination going to other places.
Yeah, I think that Sophie's darker videos are from her album Wanderlust,
Hmm.
when she tried something different, when she did release Young Blood. I don't know if you have seen these videos, but
No,
those videos look a little bit more darker, so you should
I
check
gotta
them
check
out.
this. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Um, Norman says that his favorite video is Murder on the Dance Floor and In Your Eyes. Murder on the Dance Floor was iconic. It was
Yeah.
everywhere, and the choreography, like, yeah. And he says, I like the video for Can't Get You Out of My Head for the choreo. Yeah, that choreo was everywhere. I know. I remember my dad was obsessed with Kylie. He was like, she's so beautiful. Because she was really elegant on the
Yeah.
Can't Get You Out of My Head, especially when that white gown that she's using.
Hmm.
She looks so elegant. Okay. Favorite album? Mao.
Well, I think for me it was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like because I only like two albums by them because I was not familiar with the other albums.
Mm-hmm.
So talking about Kylie, of course, is Fever. There is something that Lucas mentioned that right now I for me it's like more clear because Kylie was around before Fever, before Can't Get You Out of My Head. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when it's like a blur memory in my head. But I remember the first time I saw Can't Get You Out of My Head, I knew that she was not new, that she had like a previous career, like more songs in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I didn't know what, but right now maybe was spinning around or maybe were like other songs. But I knew in that moment, even being a kid, I knew that she was not a new singer. She had like a long career
Mm-hmm.
in her back. But I can't deny like Fever is like the most amazing moment for me in her career.
Mm-hmm.
With Kylie, I think right now I can listen to her. I think she's cool, and actually in Your Eyes, for example, is a song that I really love. In the past, it was not like that. Actually, there was a moment that I used to hate her. But
Mm-hmm.
right now, I can say she's cool. Right now, I can say she was like an icon and an icon for the gay community too. And I appreciate that too. So right now, I can say, oh, she's good. And the work, actually, the cover of Fever is a cover that is one of my favorite covers of all time. Like she looks stunning with the microphone, with that
Oh.
beautiful shoes, white shoes, like
Mm-hmm.
heels. It is beautiful, and it is it is an amazing album, an amazing pop album, and perfect for the time. I'm talking about Sophie. As I told you, I never in that moment was paying so much attention to the complete album of her, Read My Lips. But Murder on the Dance Floor and Get Over You that are like amazing. That
Mm-hmm.
are my favorite. And Music at the Best of Me is also there, actually.
Yes. Yes. Music at
Yes,
the Pacific.
these are my favorite songs, so I cannot say that other album is my favorite because I was obsessed to have this album when I was a kid.
Mm.
So it is my favorite. And during the pandemic, when I think we had a lot of time, everybody had a lot of time, I decided to listen to these albums that I never listened to before, and Red My List was one of them. And I was enjoying so much listening to that album. I was like, "Oh, this is good. This is good. It puts you in a good mood. It's like very good to hear." So yes, of course, Red My Lips is my favorite.
Perfect. Luquitas, what are your choices?
If this album by Sophie has a vinyl edition, you gotta have now, friend, to make this
Yes,
full
friend,
circle
you are
moment.
agree. I think I
Like,
saw that album in vinyl, but it was so expensive. I saw it like in London or something like that, but it was so
Yeah,
expensive.
mm,
maybe one day. Well, my choices were Kylie, Fever,
mm-hmm.
as well. I was this close to choose X because I like that album so much. Actually, I like Golden too. That is more country with pop, and
Really? Mm,
yes, I think
mm-hmm.
it's sweet. Some songs are kind of sweet, kind of innocent. I don't know. I like
Mm-hmm.
that album. But I chose Fever because I was listening to the X, and then I was listening to Fever, and even passing just to listen to the intros a little bit, to have a perspective. I was no, Fever is like a moment in time,
Mm-hmm.
because I think it was a little bit ahead of time, but at the same time has that 2000s energy and the nostalgia, and is a little bit in the middle, like, is in
Mm-hmm.
between the things we love. So for me, it's Fever. And by Sophie was the same. I was ready to choose the album that I never remember the name, the 2007 album, please. Is weird.
Trip the Light Fantastic.
This Turbo Asterix is this album, and because it's the most close to the type of music that I listen, is
Mm-hmm.
kind of pop rock and everything. So I really like that album. But what I was listening, I create a list and the name was there, but I was listening to Make a Scene after that, and I changed it
Mm,
because I don't know, now 2025, Make a Scene sounded so good for me, like heavy, the type of music that I want to listen loud and
mm-hmm.
feel every beat, every synth on the songs and everything. So right now is my favorite. Make a Scene. That can change in a moment, but
I
by now
know.
is that. Yeah.
I know. It was so difficult for me too because I love Fever by Kylie, but I also love X. Um, so I chose X as
Yeah.
my favorite because it has a lot of songs that relate to the kind of music that I really, really appreciate, which is pure, pure pop. So for me, it's this album by Kylie. If you guys haven't listened to it, please give it a listen. It was with me when I started my college career, my college. So it was the album I listened to the most in my first semester. So
The
it's there
soundtrack.
with me. It's like the soundtrack. So it's there with me because we lost a friend of the family a few months before I began college. So it was a bit difficult that time for me and my family
Mhm.
because we really love this person, and we also lost one of our dogs. So it was a dark moment, but this album helped me a lot. So
Oh,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like a thing. I love it so much.
Mhm.
And
wow.
for Sophie, I chose. It was difficult because I was between Trip the Light Fantastic and Hannah, her latest album. But I chose Trip because it also brings back great memories. It's an album that I decided that I was going to be a huge fan of Sophie because I like her first. I like With My Lips, and I like Shoot from the Hip. But when and I don't have Triple Life Fantastic, but when I listened to it, I was like, "Oh, this is so cool! It's so perfect." So that's the kind of album that I really like, and I enjoy all the songs. There's not a single song I don't like. So you haven't actually listened to these albums in full, so I highly recommend you to do it. The album that Luquitas shared, Make a Scene and Trip the Life Fantastic are really, really good. So I totally advise you to go listen.
thank you, Mariel, because I was listening to the albums today, but I was like in a rush for the
Mhm.
episode, like
Mhm.
trying to listen like everything I could. So to have like a perspective and opinion and to have like a real opinion about it. But this is the kind of thing, for example, in the X album or these albums by Sophie, that it's better when you listen to them carefully, like when so much attention, like
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
the to enjoy like the experience of listening an album, like
Mhm.
because right now it's like you have the playlist in Spotify and you have like the albums available all the time, and sometimes you lost the experience to listen to an album in
Mhm.
the real life,
Mhm.
like when we used to do when we were kids or we were teenagers, like
Mhm.
putting the CD like in this CD player and listening to the
Yeah,
one song to the last song to the
and
first song to the
thousand
last song.
times. Yeah,
So yes, it's a completely different experience. So it's like that. Like sometimes we need even using Spotify or YouTube or whatever. It's an amazing experience to listen to the whole album and to listen to the whole experience.
yeah. And now we have
Definitely.
cell phones to distract us. When you
Yeah.
realize you are not listening,
Mhm.
you are tripping in something else that you are watching.
Yes.
So I hate
That's
that.
true.
Yes,
It's
yes.
more
Yes.
like background music. So
Yeah, back
yeah.
then you put your headphones and all you had to see was the booklet of the CD.
Mhm.
So you
Mhm.
spend hours reading and looking for something that is kind of hide. So you really pay attention. Nowadays it's hard.
Yeah.
No,
It is
this is
definitely.
hard.
Yeah. Norman says his favorite album by Kylie is Body Language, and X Body Language is so good, Norman. I know. And Make a Scene by Sophie. So great.
Great.
Um, my last topic for today is what song by Kylie would you like Sophie to record, and what song by Sophie would you like Kylie to record? Mau.
I decided to select like the songs that I know. So it would be amazing like to listen Can't Get You Out of My Head. That is a huge song sang be sang by Sophie Ellis-Bextor. It would be amazing
Mm-hmm.
because these women are very similar. I don't know if maybe Sophie mentioned Kylie Minogue like in any moment of her career as an influence, because I can see it. So it would
Probably.
be amazing like to have
Mm-hmm.
a live version of that, like maybe Sophie in a concert singing "Can't Get You Out of My Head." That was so amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
talking about Kylie covering a Sophie song, I go with Murder on the Dance Floor, because it's like maybe these songs are not in the same level, because I think "Can't Get You Out of My Head" is huge, huge, huge. But "Murder on the Dance Floor" was iconic too in this moment, so I think it would be great.
I can
Yeah.
see them
And
doing these
back
songs.
the song was back like last year. Murder on the
Yeah,
Dance Floor was huge again,
Yeah.
so it's timeless.
yes,
Yes.
yes,
Be-
yes. Was again on the Billboard or something on the charts because of a
yeah.
movie of a
For
series
a
or something.
series. I can't remember the name of the series, but yeah, it was
No, it was a move.
It
Is
was a movie.
Saltburn.
Saltborn. Yes, yes. I
Oh,
thought it was a
yes.
series.
It's
What?
an
Yeah, but it
amazing movie. Yeah, I told Mal to watch this. He's gonna love it.
oh, it gained a lot of attention 25 years later, so it's
Yeah,
great.
she was on Billboard Hot 100 for the very first time.
Wow, that's so
Like,
cool.
yes, amazing.
Uh, Luquitas, what do you choose for these two women?
I my choices are for Kylie, a song by Sophie called Starlight.
Mm,
Every time I was listening to the songs again, I was paying attention on that direction too to answer this question. And when I was listening to Starlight, I was imagining Kylie, and I think it fits
mm-hmm,
to her. And I really like to see Sophie singing "Better the Devil You Know."
mm,
Uh, because it's crazy. I discovered that I love this song so much live in the concert by Kylie that I went 2020.
Hmm.
I never really listen or pay attention, but for some reason when she sang on the concert, I was crazy and feeling the energy of the song. And now it's one of my favorites, and would be cool to see Sophie singing because I think this song has so much passion,
Hmm.
uh, especially in the chorus of the song. And I think sometimes Sophie has some irony in her songs. Is like, I don't know, like kind of blasé, something like this. So I would like to see her singing something really passionate, like more intense, like I forgive and forget, with all her voice and strength. So I was curious to listen that.
It would be interesting for sure. I know that the song was also covered by Steps.
Steps, yes.
Yeah, but well, I think I do see this too, singing that. Did you listen to those songs, Mo?
Yes, yes. Actually, it was a surprise. This song better the devil you know because these songs is from her second or third album,
Yes.
so it has this kind of vibe, like very 90s vibe. I was surprised because of that because I know Lucky has this problem with this time of the, but this
Mhm.
this song belongs to this moment in time. So I was
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
like, okay, it was surprised, but yeah, 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 yeah.
And did you listen to Starlight?
Yes, yes, and actually, I was thinking about the same, and that is the reason that I was asking you if maybe Sophie mentions in her career Kylie as a reference or as an influence because I perceive like this kind of influence by her.
It is possible. I haven't seen an interview where she says
Yeah.
that, but it's possible. It's
It's
really
very
possible.
possible, yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
about Better the Devil You Know, probably she recorded in the 80s because it still has that vibe, right?
Sounds
Of the
80s.
80s. Yes.
Yeah.
It was released in 1990 period.
Ah, yeah.
But she recorded probably in 89, 88 or
Hmm.
something.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
I understand what when this happens, like you don't like a song and suddenly you are in a concert listening to the song and you start liking the song. This happens
Yes.
with me with this song by Ja Rule and Ashanti that is called Down for Me. I
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
never liked so much this song, and when I was in the concert, I was like, "Oh, this song is so good, so good." So
Yeah.
yes, maybe the live performance gives you a different kind of glance. I don't know, like
Yeah.
you are looking to the song in a different way.
It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. Yes. That's beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you,
And
everybody?
oh well, I chose Kylie to sing a song called "Lost in the Sunshine" by Sophie from her latest album Hannah. I adore that song. It brings me back, to the '60s, the Motown. So, and the video is really like '60s. If you've seen it, Sophie looks like with this kind of makeup from the '60s and the bun. So,
Mhm.
and I can totally see Kylie performing the song "Let's Get Lost in the Sunshine," "Margaritas by the Riverside." So it's really classic. It sounds classic for me. I don't know if you guys had the chance to listen to it.
Mhm.
What
I
did you
did.
think?
I think it's cool. This is the newest album by her, right?
Her latest from
Yeah.
2023, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of bringing back the flavor of the first album and mixing with disco again and 60s and older things. I like it. I think Kylie is very versatile. Is this the word?
Versatile. Yeah.
Versatile.
Mm-hmm.
She can sing like anything, so it makes sense to 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 listen to her with that song.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You listen now?
Yes, and talking about Lost in the Sunshine for me was like a no
Mm.
because I perceive the song less for the club
Mm-hmm.
and I see Kylie very club music, like very dancing all the time, very very this kind of club music. So for me was like a no. And talking about a green light, I can see even a collab between them.
I
So
haven't.
it would
I
be
was gonna get
amazing.
there. I was gonna get there, Mel, because I haven't talked about green light.
Oh, sorry.
No, yeah, I chose green light from Kylie's Tension album, not the second Tension one.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I chose this song that I would like Sophie to sing. It's one of those pop songs that remind me of Y2K, early 2000s. I don't know why that song makes me think of that era. Now, Mao, what did you think?
For me, it would be perfect, like a collaboration between them. It would be amazing because Dua Lipa has a collaboration with Kylie Minogue, right?
Hmm.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it would be amazing to have this kind of collapse between two disco, not disco, dance, like the title of this episode, like the dance floor queens, like
Yes.
would be amazing to have them because I think they are very similar. I remember seeing a magazine back in the day when I was obsessed with Sophie Ellis-Bextor, and they put something like she's like the new diva, very similar to Kylie Minogue,
Mhm.
and the comparison always was there. So yes, it would be amazing to have a collab between them.
Great. Luquitas, what do you think?
Yeah, I haven't thought about the collaboration, but makes sense. And now that Mal mentioned Dua Lipa, for me, like Sophie music is not that different from the last eras by Dua Lipa. Like
Mm-hmm.
she had a lot of the same elements that Sophie did in 2002. For me, that explains a lot why Murder on the Dance Floor gained attention again, because sounded current. Like if you listen to any single by Dua Lipa in the last past years, is the same sound pretty much. So I think sometimes we praise some artists like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, like that big thing and so different, so unique, and is not. I think Sophie maybe deserved to be in the same spotlight that Dua has now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think it's very similar for me, but for some reason, sometimes we see an artist like this and others struggling, to have a little moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Agree.
For sure. Okay,
Absolutely.
so that was it about these two dance floor divas. I just want to share
Yes,
with
for
you guys. I have from Sophie. I have the more with my lips and the shoot from the hip. This is a very underrated album. Very good for sure.
and
And
she's blonde.
and she's blown it and make a scene. I have this three, and from Kylie I have X Aphrodite, which is really good too.
Yes.
Um, this greatest hits um, has a lot of songs from her early days, and Kiss Me Once.
Disney ones. That is
I love.
also very good. Yes.
Very underrated. Very underrated.
Yes.
Okay, so like every week we talk about our current obsession. Lucas, would you like to share yours, darling?
Yes. Um, Actually, I'm very obsessed with JoJo. I
Mm-hmm.
still obsessed with JoJo because of the book. So right now I'm listening to all the unreleased songs by her that I haven't heard before, because she has like a thousand songs. So in my mind, I have heard everything, but I realized that I haven't. There's so many leaked songs by her that I'm just listening for the very first time now. But I'm just mentioning that because my choice is actually a singer called Casey Donovan. She's
Mm-hmm.
Australian,
Mm-hmm.
and she was the winner of the Australian Idol in 2004. And that shows that the 2000s were crazy in a
Mm-hmm.
whole different time, because I remember I didn't pay attention to that girl a lot back then, probably because of her appearance, because she's a big girl, and in my mind she was way older,
Mm-hmm.
I was 14, so I could see her as Adele. I don't know, like someone in the 30s, and she was
Mm-hmm.
actually 16. So I never heard her music
Mm-hmm.
back then. I was pass.
Mm-hmm.
And last week I was watching to some music videos randomly, and then start to play "What's Going On" by her, and I was like, I know this song, and I started to pay attention. And actually, I know the song because the Veronicas wrote that song,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the demo with the Veronicas since 2006. I grew
Mm-hmm.
up listening to that song with the Veronicas, but I had no idea that they wrote that song for this girl, Casey, and
Mm-hmm.
her version is amazing, even better. So many guitars. Her voice is beautiful. The music video is actually very cool, very 2000s, very Kelly Clarkson, breakaway era. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why I didn't pay attention to this girl? So I decided to listen to her album. It's very pop rock. It's very cool. It was released in 2004. It's called For You.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm obsessed with her version of What's Going On. And I feel bad that I didn't pay attention back then, probably because of her looks.
So I agree with you. Sometimes we get along with like, oh, she looks like this. I don't think I gonna like it, but we should never judge a book by its cover. That's
Yes.
that's the lesson from this. But thank you, Lucas. We will listen to her. I know who she is, but I have never listened to her because of the same thing. So
Yes.
yes. And what about you, Mousy?
I was thinking about how is this word in English? Like you never judge a book by its cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was thinking about how to say it in English.
Never
Mm-hmm.
judge a book by
Well,
his cover.
yeah. Talking about my obsession, well, the other day I was making this activity that is, I don't know if it's worth it or no, but I'm trying to like modify the scribblings that I have in Last FM that are wrong, like with different singer or like with the comma and two singers,
Uh-huh.
like putting like
Oh,
everything in order.
yeah.
It's my
So
obsession
I
doing that.
discovered,
Yes.
sorry,
It's my obsession doing that all the time.
yes. Sometimes you think like, okay, it doesn't hurt, like, but I like to see like the organization of this like very well. So anyway, I was doing this and I discovered that there is a singer that is from the 80s, 90s, early 90s, that is called Pebbles. That she
Mm-hmm.
was the wife of Ellie Reid,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like this new Jack Swing girl, like very similar to Paula Abdul, even Janet Jackson from that time. And I discovered doing this that she had a song with Salt-N-Pepa, and I was like, oh, and I decided to re-listen to the song. I was like, oh, this song is so good. And right now I'm obsessed. The song is Backyard by Pebbles and Salt-N-Pepa. It's so good. The song is amazing. It's very New Jack Swing, very Paula Abdul, like but very Paula Abdul-ish, like this kind of sound that I really like. So yes,
I'm
she's
Okay.
my
here. I'm here.
obsession.
Continue.
Okay, I will listen to it now because I like some of Salt and Pepper's things, but I don't remember the whole
Okay,
song. So yes,
maybe you like it.
I will. Um, my obsession is a song. I don't remember the year, but it's by Kimberly Cole, and it's called "Smack You." Do you remember this song, Lucas? No.
No.
It's so funny because it's about this. It kind of reminds me of Casey Battaglia's "Crazy Possessive."
Mm-hmm.
Like pretty much like this type of fight argument between two girls. So I'm gonna smack you right across your lips because you keep on talking shit. And so it's
So
like
this is the feeling. Yes.
yeah, so it's like really danceable. I'm gonna kick you right between your hips because you're such a
Uh,
catty bitch. So it's like,
whoa.
but it makes you like, even if it's like very
Yeah.
silly, it makes you want to dance. So unfortunately, Kimberly Cole's album is not available on Spotify. I've been requesting it, but I haven't. got any luck, but you can find the video on YouTube. And any last additions to your collection, guys?
Yes,
Yes, and I don't have here. Give me a
go ahead.
minute.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yes, I actually have a new addition in my collection, but it's not something really special.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mom.
It's
It's
the
just
support that is not strong.
it's just something that I found for real today. That is
Oh
Xuxa.
wow. Uh-huh.
Yes, it's because I'm not really collecting Xuxa. Xuxa is a big part of my life, but I decided to make different with her collection. So I have a special edition that is like a box with a lot of albums that she released.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just buying the others to complete, you know. Uh, and until 1999, this is 1998 because from 2000 after that she only released the music for really 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 young kids. Like the project is called Xuxa só para baixinhos, solo para barritos, so is para
Mm-hmm.
kids that are learning to read, you know,
Oh,
very
okay,
childish. So
okay.
I'm out of that. Since
Of
this is
course.
not special, I decided to show you guys this beautiful vinyl that I have here by Jessica Simpson.
Oh,
You guys
it's
can see it.
beautiful. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I never saw that.
There. Uh-huh.
Yes, I love this. Is Where You Are with Nicolas Shea. It's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I decided to show this because in 2 minutes actually, she's releasing a brand new single finally. Jessica Simpson, at least here in Brazil
Mm-hmm.
because it's midnight. Um, and I'm very excited about that. But this is one of those things that I love for the cover, to be honest, because it's really beautiful. But it's only remixes in that type of remix that has 10 minutes. You know, that is
Mm-hmm.
like so it's more about the cover for me. But that's it. Listen to
Oh,
new Jessica Simpson single
that's
tomorrow.
lovely. Yes. What about you, Mao? What's your latest addition?
Well, as I told you, I'm obsessed to have the albums that I really love, like my favorite albums of all time in vinyl. And this album I love so much. Whitney Houston, My Love Is Your Love in vinyl. I'm so excited because of that. Because even when I have the other vinyls by her, like because here were so easy to find, like because are from the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I was dreaming about to have this album in vinyl because for a long time it was my favorite. Actually, right now maybe I'm Your Baby Tonight my favorite, but this is like this my second favorite, or at
Mm-hmm.
least it's like in the same level. I love this album.
Mm-hmm.
So it was amazing because this is a re-release that the label Arista Records made for the 30 years, I think, or the 20 years or
Uh,
something like that. Like so, it's so beautiful. Actually, the the vinyls are beautiful. The color are beautiful. I'm so excited because of that.
oh, it's blue.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So
Beautiful.
right now I'm so happy because my Whitney Houston collection of vinyl is of studio albums so in vinyl is almost complete.
Ooh.
Mm.
Congratulations, Mao.
It's beautiful, and the
Thank you.
cover looks amazing in
Yeah,
vinyl. I told you that.
Yes, I love this album so much, and I know you like this album, guys.
I love
Yeah.
it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Heartbreak Hotel. It's on
Yeah,
that album, right? I love it.
and,
Yeah.
and the
It's of.
collab with Mariah is also
It's not
Yes.
when
right.
you really.
It's part of this
It's
too.
not right.
Yes. What
Mm.
song?
It's
It's
not
not
right,
right,
but
but
it's
it's
okay.
okay.
It's not right, but it's okay. Heartbreak Hotel. If I told you that, My Love Is Your Love.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
left for the best. Yeah.
It's really good. Yes.
Really good.
What
My
about you,
latest
Mariel?
edition. I want to thank this to our friend Joaquin because he sent me an album that has been like crazy. A lot of things have happened with this album by Holy Vallance, State of Mind. It's one of my favorite pop albums in the world. The first time I bought it was like 4 years ago. and it never made it. I never got a response from the seller. The album got lost. So I was so sad. When we did this secret Santa between here, our friends, and the other friends we have in our group, I was Joaquin's secret friend. So he sent me Holly's first album, and he sent me this too. And he sent me the track guide. So when we looked for it, it was lost. It was lost again, and I was like, no, why is this happening? So he says like, no, the seller did return my money because he also knew that the album got lost. So he ordered it again, and now it's finally here. So now I finally have it after 3 attempts. So it's really cool.
Third
And I
time is
love,
the charm.
yes.
Yeah.
So I love this album,
Finally.
and it's beautiful. So I this one is a thank you to Joaquin, because I know it was hard for us to finally
Yeah.
get it.
Now
Yes.
you have both albums by her.
Both, yes, I do. Yes, one
That's great.
the first one Joaquin sent it to me from Latvia. The box said Latvia, and this one came from the Netherlands. So
Oh, is this
even
God
though
for sure?
even though she's Australian,
Yes.
the albums came from different parts of the world. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode as much as we did. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram at Ready Set Pop Pod. And thank you, Norman, for being here tonight. I think you
Thank
are the
you.
only one that was able to make it tonight, but we really
Yes.
appreciate it. And Mouse Mom, thank you. Anything else you want to add, Mousy Moo?
Thank you, friends. It was so interesting to listen to more of Kylie's music, and even with Sophie, because I didn't know very well the albums that you select as your favorite. So thank you so much. Always it's a discovery. Always is a new opportunity to listen to different kind of music and find new favorite songs and everything and new obsessions. So thank you so much, friends.
Great. Thank you, Mau. And you, Luki?
I want to say thank you too. Actually, I prefer when the topic is chosen by you guys because it's always a challenge for me, and I have so much fun doing things that I wouldn't be doing, like listening to songs that I wouldn't be listening in my week or doing my work. So it's really cool, and thank you. I really love doing this with you guys, even if it was not online for everyone to see. I would love to do this. So thank you.
Me too. I really enjoy it. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Bye.